Unmasking a nice guy, why women should treat him like his friends do. Now, this may sound like I'm being mean or funny, but this is a real deal. You meet people who proclaim themselves as being nice. Specifically, we're going to talk about men. Proclaim themselves as being this nice guy. So usually in these type of situations, you meet a man and he just keeps telling you how wonderful he is, how much he helps everybody, what he do for everyone. And after a while, you hear all these stories of how amazing he is. Even you'll meet people who says that he's amazing as well too, right? But give it about 2 to 3 weeks and you're going to start hearing him complain about all these things that he does for everyone, right? And first he's going to tell you, oh, today I got to go help such and such. They need me and I'm going to go over there and yada, 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 yada. And by the end of the day, when you talk to him, like his whole day is filled with other people BS. Like it's not even his drama. It's not even his businesses. It's everyone else needing him. And sometimes you may not mind listening to the stories because sometimes the stories are good, right? You're like, oh, okay, that's messy. That's what happened. Oh, wow, you saved the day. But then you begin to notice, what does this person do for themselves? How do they keep their health up? How often do they go out and do the things that they enjoy in life? And then you also notice, what does this Mr. Nice Guy do with you? Like, what are the activities you guys do together? How do you guys spend time together? Do you guys even spend time together? Is he so busy saving the world that he doesn't even really spend time with you? Or do you notice that when y'all do spend time together, it's like wee hours of the night? Y'all could probably go on a date in the daytime, but y'all going to brunch, knocking that out. Then when y'all spend time together, it's like on some late night shit. Because why? He was busy saving being Mr. Nice Guy to everybody during the hours where you may want to spend time with him. So the more I notice about this Mr. Nice Guy is that when you begin to look at them and how they treat themselves, it's actually horrible. Like, it's really horrible to the point that a lot of women tend to want to fix them, give them things. You tend to want to make up for what they friends don't do, right? So you'll be the one that'll call them up, or maybe y'all be laid up together and you're like, oh, let's go get breakfast. I'll make you breakfast. And next thing you know, he says, oh, 2 hours from now, I got to go to such and such house and go run around and help them, blah, 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 blah. But you just keep doing it. You'll keep being kind to this person because in your mind, you're really thinking that, do they not understand what they're doing? Do they not understand that they're being so kind to everyone that no one is looking out for them in return? Guess what? They know that. They know that the people that they're treating nicely and that they're breaking their necks for would never do that for them. They know that. The part is that those people, they'll do enough for them, but they'll do it at their leisure, right? They'll do it when they please, when they feel like they got the time to do it, but they won't do it quick, fast, in a hurry. So, like I said earlier, as you being who you are, you want to assist them. You want to give them things. You want to start making up for the areas that this Mr. Nice Guy friends are not doing for them. Don't do that. It's not your purpose. It's not. Let me make this clear. And I'm going to talk about God real quick. God did not create you as a woman to sit around, run around town helping men that consider themselves as Mr. Nice Guys. Like, my father and mother did not get together and give birth to me in order for me to go save some man that goes around calling himself a nice guy. You need to really think about why you yourself are making yourself become a nice girl by helping and buying things, being there for a man that considers himself a nice guy. Most of the times I notice with people who consider themselves those type of things, damn, could you stop walking? Most of the time I notice about people who consider they self either a nice girl or a nice guy, is that they're really lacking. They have some type of inadequacy within themselves. Now, what is the inadequacy? I don't know. I don't really try to stick around and figure it out. The two occasions in my life that I've been around men that were nice guys who call themselves nice guys, 3 times. I take that back. It was 3 times. And they all were the same, whereas, like I said earlier, they had some type of inadequacy about themselves, right? And depending on who you are, you can see it quickly, and sometimes you don't see it quickly. But for me, I did notice it quickly. And what it was is that they all didn't think they was good enough for something. So because they didn't think they was good enough for something, they overcompensated with other people for shit. And for those people who did think they were good enough for something, they resented them because deep down inside, they knew that they selves were not good enough for it. That's like a real mind fuck what I just said, but you gotta really rewind it back and listen. These people who call themselves being Mr. Nice Guys, Mr. Nice Girls, they usually think they're not good enough for something. So in return, they overcompensate with giving. And when they meet people that in return say, oh my God, you are good enough, and want to give them something in return because they're being given so much too, that they become resentful and aggravated because you now see that they are worth it, but they know deep down inside they're really not worth it. So while you thinking you God or you some angel and you helping this person find themselves, or you think you helping them by being, oh, I'm gonna be kind to them in return because I notice no one else does that. It's a reason why. Now, the people that don't do it, they may not know why they don't do it. They may just do it out of just being selfishness. But no, the universe know why. The high hopes know why. Oh my God, was those boys in the stolen car? Damn. The universe, all those people, they know why these nice guy is being treated the way they are. It ain't for you to figure it out. It's for you to peep the scene and start thinking, what do you want to do with this nice guy? Now, have I met nice guys like, I live in Oakland. They always making noise with the cars. Okay, I've met proclaimed nice guys at work, right? That we wasn't on no date and stuff, but they'll tell me, they'll say, Ryan, I'm a nice dude. I try to do this, da-da-da. And depending on our level of comfort with another, I'll say, it's not cute to be a nice guy though. I wouldn't tell people I'm a nice girl. When people tell me I'm nice, I always do something that end up making them think twice about them considering me being nice. Why? Because I'm not. You're not about to fuck me over. When people hear the term nice, they just automatically mess them over. And I met decent, I don't use the term good people. I say decent because I don't know what everyone does on the under. If you spend hours whacking off to porn movies, I am going to judge you for that. I don't care if you're single. You need to stop. That's not cute. Go get a human being. So I don't call everybody good. You could be calling yourself good and doing some strange shit on the under. Getting drunk every night, wasted, passed out. I don't consider you being good. I don't care if you hurting yourself. Still, that's not cool. You God's child. So that's why I use the term decent. I even use decent with myself because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do tomorrow. But, these dudes would be decent dudes to me. But when they use the term nice, it just knocks them off that it knocks you off something because that nice word, no one respects nice. No one does. Not even little kids. You ever notice little kids, you could be nice to little kids, give them stuff, but the one adult that's mean to them, that yell at them, put them in their place, that's who they listen to. So even with children being nice or playing this nice role, that does not work. Now, back to what I was saying. I've met some decent young men at some of my jobs. They would tell me, Ryan, I'm a nice da-da-da. And I would tell them, don't call yourself that. Do you feel like you a gentleman? They'll be like, yeah. And when they start listing off all the stuff that they give, I'll say to them, why are you giving so much? Like, why are you always there for your friends? What's some of your hobbies that you like? And, they couldn't tell me. They couldn't say what they're interested in. You know, these young men, their world would be so focused on being this nice person, giving to everybody. It's sad watching, because it's like, man, I know your mama didn't raise you to be running around town giving to everybody and their mama like that. It's not that serious. So, like I said, and even these young men, they'll say, well, I don't think I'm good enough. What I notice is a lot of the nice people who call themselves nice, they think the people that they give into is perfect. They are assuming that all those people are wonderful, they're perfect, and that it's a privilege for them to be associating with each other. A privilege. So this nice person, this nice guy, you know, he's going to put his friends on that pedestal, and there's nothing that you could do about that to change it. You shouldn't even be trying to figure out how to change it, right? He's going to do everything possible, and you know who he's going to do to you? It's going to be him and his friends against the world, which is you. So what do you do in a situation like this, right? Especially if you like the dude. He treats you kind of cool. You like spending time with him. Hold on, bus roll past. You probably like, Ryan, I want to see him. Because I get a lot of people, we still want to deal with people knowing damn well they shouldn't, because we think we could change him. You know, I am a friend that will support you to a degree with that. I'll say, okay, let's figure out how we're going to change him just for the hell of it. But in a scenario like this, what do you do? What have I done with men who I see that, oh, they're nice, depending on what they're giving me, then I'll keep them around, right? And what I mean by that is, like, you know, if he's a nice guy to everyone, and I'm noticing with me, you know, I want to go here, I want to go there, and it's always an excuse. There's no need for me to keep him around. All I'm doing is stroking his ego and being like a sounding board for him to rant to me about how all his friends need him and he's always there for them and how he don't get shit in return. Because also these people, they use this as a form of heroism. Like them being savers and everything like that. So that also helps them feel like their inadequacy doesn't matter so much because they're so busy saving the world, right? Remember that dude? Oh, I just seen that movie. Well, Will Smith was the superhero, but he was drinking and stuff and saving people at the same time. So it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about getting drunk because I'm still saving everybody, but then you're still not happy, right? So that's what a lot of these nice guys have, is that type of mindset of saviorism. So you sticking around, it's like, do you at least get some of your benefits met? If you don't have no reason to stick around, because all you're going to do is become aggravated with men and feel like all men do the type of stuff that he do. And you don't want to taint yourself like that. You know, you don't want to bring more trauma to yourself trying to make something work with somebody that is not supposed to work out with. You know, it be like that. I met a few nice men in my life. Like I said, I've dealt with 3 of them. And after a while, you just like, shit, I'm not getting nothing out of this. All I'm doing is hearing a grown-ass man talk about what he did for everybody else and their mama. And it's starting to be a turnoff. It's not sexy. Who wants to deal with a pushover? Who wants to deal with a man that everybody got a leash around him but you? Or if you do, you got a leash around him. Sandy got a leash around him. Tom got a leash around him. And you know the crazy catch-22 about this is why I really think as a woman, if you're dealing with a man that's calling himself nice and you ain't getting your shit that you want out of it, it's a waste of your time. For the fact that you got to hear him complain to you about how everybody acts for shit. You got to hear him complain to you about how don't nobody do nothing, right? And then he gonna start looking at you as in, well, what do you do for me? Then what? He gonna start demanding sex. Because now he got all this anger inside of him from being Mr. Nice Guy. Now he's going to start really demanding intercourse. And when y'all have intercourse, he might start really going to town on your stuff off of him being frustrated, aggravated, off of being this Mr. Nice Guy. See, it's a real cluster for the fact that you're not about to sit up here and figure out why he's Mr. Nice Guy. But the reason why I just gave you earlier is most likely the reason why. Because he feels inadequate. He doesn't feel like he's good enough. I'm going to take you back in the same circle again so you can really understand how much it's not beneficial for you to date them unless you're going to be using them and really get what you want out of it. So he thinks he's inadequate. He thinks and knows that he's not good enough. So he's only given to those that he deems as being better than him. He may give you a few things, but you're going to probably turn around and start cleaning up the mess that everyone else is leaving behind because they're not giving him that respect and giving him little stuff. Once he notices you start doing that, it's going to piss him off because now he know that you see his inadequacy and you're cleaning up the mess that for his friends that they leave behind without doing nothing for him in return. And then at that, like I said, he doesn't even think he's worthy of it. So while you're doing it, he's actually pissed. He don't even think he's worthy of it. He ain't even going to appreciate it. The only person he's going to care if they was to do something in return like that is probably his friends. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. So unless you going out with the Mr. Nice Guy and you getting little gifts on the under, you going on little dates and you don't mind those small dates. You don't mind during that date. You hear him talk about what he just did for his best friend, Kendall, and how he helped Susie and how he had to go visit Don's mother and blah, 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 blah. So be it. But a woman like myself, I got better things to do. I am my own entertainment. So unless you taking me to some type of like 5-course, $2,000 type of restaurant, I don't need the free drinks. I don't need the free date. I got better shit to do. And I got better people that I could listen to talk about life. Hell, I could go to the bar and listen to the bartender talk about life than listen to a Mr. Nice Guy tell me all his woes and what he do and turn around and still be resentful towards me because don't nobody care. Or how about this? Be resentful towards me because I actually do care. Because that's what y'all women going through. You actually care, and he mad at you that you care so much that his friends is using him because he just spent the hour complaining about his friends using him. So, women, if you are dating a Mr. Nice Guy, cut him off. Or if you keep him around, don't help him. When he rants about his friends and family, you can listen if you want to. If you listen and you see that you get a benefit off of listening, like, you know, he keep taking you out, keep picking up you up little stuff, so be it. But don't make the attempt to feel sorry for him. Don't sit up there and treat him to anything on the behalf of how much other people don't. Don't do nothing but listen if that's what you're going to do. And reap your benefits too. Because Mr. Nice Guy, he like being in that position. He like becoming a fake savior. Mr. Nice Guy is inadequate. He will never be good enough. Only way he gonna be good enough unless he sit his ass in the mirror and really figure out his problems. Mr. Nice Guy is a waste of your time. Only benefit you benefit off of this man is learning the art of persuasion, because Mr. Nice Guy ain't got nothing to talk about but his pain, his traumas. And he's looking for someone to feel sorry for him so he could then become resentful towards that person. So, you're dating a Mr. Nice Guy, treat him exactly like his friends do. Like shit.